Level 1, the spark. You're a few years into a job, it's not bad, but that's the problem. The pay, the work, and your manager is okay. Each day you have the same stand-ups, same board, and same pings for 40 years for someone else's company. You build things all day that aren't yours. So at night you scroll, and your feed's algorithm has figured out exactly what you feel because it keeps showing you the same things. The same guys who quit their job and make $10,000 a month while only working 4 hours a day from Bali. They blog "Fire Your Boss" or they post a screenshot of their Stripe dashboard, and you lean toward the screen because they were you. They were devs like you in jobs that were fine, and they built a thing and now they're free. No boss. It's just you and the work that's actually yours. You think to yourself, if they can, then I can. You're a decent engineer. You can make the same apps they made, if not better. You open a blank file one night after work. This is it. You're getting out. While everyone you work with is watching something, scrolling something, you're in your room with the laptop and the idea, and the hours don't feel like hours. You look up and it's 2 a.m., and you feel more awake than you did at noon. You start seeing the whole world as your product, in the shower, on the drive, mid-conversation, because in your head you're solving the thing. You haven't made a single dollar, and yet you've never felt richer. This is what they were all talking about. You're going to get out. You're intoxicated by the thought. Level 2, the launch. It's been 4 days since you launched and nobody has bought it. You spent 3 months on it, heads down in the cave, building every feature you could think of, the authentication, the billing, the dark mode, a settings page that you'll realize later not one human being ever saw. You launched it the way you'd seen them launch, a post, a nice screenshot, with a caption saying, "Check out what I built." And then you sat back and waited for the people to come. The people did not come. So now you're doing the part you didn't plan for. You're finding somewhere to promote your product. You dropped the link in a subreddit and a mod removed it after 9 minutes. Rule 7. No self-promotion. You post it in 3 Discords and watch it scroll out of sight. You DM a guy with a newsletter, he leaves you on read. You're not building anymore. You're standing on a corner in an empty town, holding up a sign to no one. And you realize that 3 months ago, before writing the first line of code, maybe you should have asked someone if they wanted this before you spent a season of your life building it. So you tell yourself the next one will be different. You're half right. Level 3, the grind. By the 3rd product idea, you don't tell anyone when you launch. This is your life now. You wake up tired because you were up coding. You go to the job that pays for your dream and you give it the leftover version of you. Your real brain is thinking about the side project you can't mention. Lunchtime is 20 minutes hunched over your phone, checking whether someone engaged with your social media posts. You come home and the people who love you also get the leftovers, and you tell them it's a busy season. A friend asks how the startup's going and you say, "Good, getting there." You've started lying about it in small ways. You're just tired of explaining. Plus, you're ashamed to show nothing for the months of hard work. And the worst part is your social media feed. You had another launch that only heard crickets, and you opened the app to numb out, and there he is again. A new guy this time. $8,000 in his first month. Everyone else is climbing, and you in the same chair, refreshing the same nothing. But you don't quit. You know your time is coming. You just open a new doc. Level 4, the spiral. It's 11 p.m. and you're still awake building the thing that's supposed to get you out. The day job ended 6 hours ago. You gave it your 8 hours, came home, and sat back down. Because the job pays the bills. But this, the thing that you built, is the way out. And it's gonna make you rich and become your own boss. The only light in the room is the computer screen. You're on launch number 4 this year. Shipping it the same way you shipped the last 3. At midnight, alone, on the hours nobody's paying you for. You hit publish on the product hunt post. You refresh and there are 9 upvotes. 2 are people you DM'd directly. 1 is you because you couldn't help it. You open your dashboard, $43 this month. Not today, this month. And one of them is a user in Germany you feel is going to ask for a refund soon. $43 for 3 months of nights. For the weekends, you didn't see your friends. Then you do the thing you always do. You open X and read the threads. The feed tonight is merciless. The guy who hit 10 grand. The girl who got rich off a Notion template. The 17-year-old with a smug tweet about how school is a scam. Everyone is making it, easily, in public, and you're refreshing a dashboard that says you are not. So you open the $10,000 guy's profile the way you've done 100 times. Have to learn, have to hurt yourself. But tonight you actually look deeper. His pinned post is a link. You follow it. It's a course. Build your first profitable SaaS for $297. You scroll his testimonials. There are 3. Then you scroll his actual products, the ones the course supposedly teaches you to build, and you find a landing page with a wait list. A bio that says helping builders escape the 9 to 5. And it lands on you slowly. The $10,000 is real. It's just not coming from a software product. It's coming from you, from the exact version of you that's awake right now believing there was a step you missed. He's selling the dream to people still lost in the maze. And the dream is the only thing in his whole account that makes $1. You close his profile. The cheap relief reaches for you. They're frauds. You're the honest one. That's why you're broke. And then the other tab catches your eye. The one you forgot was open. The doc. The next idea. You opened it 4 days ago, before this launch was even live. It's already got a working name. You brainstorm domains in your head at a red light on the drive home, grinning like an idiot. And the relief curdles, because you can't pretend anymore. Idea number 4 hasn't even finished dying, and you're already half in love with idea number 5. It doesn't make the $43 stop stinging. It still has to turn into real money someday, or this dream will eat you alive. But now you can ship something, fail, and start again. You forget how rare that is until you remember your friends. The ones who said they'd build something too, who had an idea, who never shipped once because of the uncertainty. You refresh one more time, still 9. The user in Germany has requested a refund, $39 now. You close the product hunt tab, you close Stripe, and you do the one thing the 1,000 who quit couldn't do. You open the doc. Idea number 5. Level 5. The breakthrough. 2 years in, you've lost count of how many things you've launched. But somewhere in all that, you actually got better. Not at working hard. You were always willing to work hard. That was never the problem. You got better at the stuff you used to think didn't matter. Now you don't disappear into your room for 3 months building something nobody asked for. Before you write any code, you go talk to people who have the problem. And a lot of the time you find out they don't actually want what you were about to build. So you drop it after a week instead of finding out the hard way after months. All those dead apps taught you that much. You stopped dumping links in subreddits at midnight and getting banned too. You figured out how this actually works. You learned what a funnel is, that you don't walk up to a stranger and ask for money. You give them something small first, something useful, and you earn the next step. And you learn to write. Your posts don't vanish anymore. They hook people. First line stops them scrolling. Second line makes them want a third. You used to roll your eyes at the word copywriting. Turns out it's just the difference between getting ignored and getting attention. And you got decent at it the same slow way you got decent at coding. So this one's different. You checked that people wanted it before you built it. You wrote a page that actually pulls somebody. You launched it to people who already said yes. You mastered retention and keeping your churn rate low. That means users who sign up for your app don't just try it once and then vanish. They stay and keep paying month after month. And for once, the line's going up because you made it go up, not because some algorithm happened to smile on you for a day. A few thousand a month, getting closer to what your job pays. Close enough that quitting isn't a daydream anymore. It's a date you could almost put on a calendar. You did it. It took years, but you did it. And here's the part you'll never post about, because it doesn't sell anything. You got lucky too. You know you did. And it sits a little weird with you because there are thousands of people out there right now who did everything you did. Same skills, same marketing, same copy, same code, same 2 years of not quitting. And they're still sitting there tonight looking at $43. They're not worse than you. They didn't want it less. The only real difference is your thing happened to land in front of the right people at the right time, and theirs hasn't. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You needed the skills, sure, 2 years of them. But all the skills really did was get you a ticket. Whether your number came up, that part was never in your hands. And that's the thing none of the guys at the top will ever admit, because saying it means admitting they didn't do it all themselves. So instead, they sell you the ticket and tell you is the price. They say it was the discipline, the morning routine, the system they built, anything except the truth, which is that they worked their asses off and they got lucky, and they can't sell you the lucky part because nobody knows how. You turn off your PC, you made it happen, and you got lucky. Both of those are true. And somewhere out there tonight, there's a guy in a dark room refreshing 9 upvotes, thinking he missed a step somewhere. He didn't miss a step, there just isn't one. That's the thing the gurus don't teach in their courses. Level 6, the exit. Here's what money does that nobody tells you when you're broke. It makes the next one easy. You launch again. But this time, you're not the guy refreshing 9 upvotes at midnight. You know exactly how this works now. You've done it enough times that it isn't a guess anymore, it's a process. And you've got something you never had before, a big budget. So, you don't wait around hoping a post goes viral. You put money behind it. You pay influencers to put it in front of their people. This makes its money back the second it goes live, because you stacked everything in your favor before you ever hit launch. The validation, the funnel, the copy, and the cash to pour fuel on all of it. And you start to see the joke of it. Back when you had $43, every launch was a coin flip you couldn't afford to lose. Now that you've got money, you can make your own luck. Buy the attention, buy the reach, buy enough shots that one of them has to land. The thing that was impossible when you were poor is almost automatic now that you're not. You needed money to make money. The rich get richer. You used to hear that and think it was something losers said. Now you're the proof. Then one day an email comes in that's different from the rest. Somebody wants to buy your SaaS, and the offer isn't just quit your job money, it's set for life money. You couldn't believe it. You sell, you sign, the money lands on your account, and you're out. The job, the commute, the 40 years of building someone else's thing, all of it gone. The thing you've wanted since the first night. You made it, and you know how rare it actually is. Tens of thousands of people started out the exact same night you did, in the exact same dark room, with the exact same dream. A few thousand kept going and learned what you learned. A few hundred of those got far enough to make real money. And out of all of them, barely a handful ever sees the email you got. Less than 1 in 100, probably less than that. You're not standing here because you wanted it more than the others. A lot of them wanted it just as bad. You're standing here because you learned and you didn't quit. And at the exact right moment, the dice came up your way. And then, once they did, the money made sure they kept coming up your way. So you take the win. You've seen how many people wanted it exactly as much as you did and never got the email.